Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ALS United Mid-Atlantic Goals Podcast. My name is Tony Heil with ALS United Mid-Atlantic, and if you've listened to this podcast in the past, you know we've talked with people with a variety of perspectives when it comes to ALS. That includes people living with ALS, people who are caregivers, people who are researchers and other clinicians, our healthcare professionals, including those who work here as nurses and social workers, and even people outside of the ALS community who are joining with us to unite for things like greater funding for brain research. I am really excited to talk with my friend Gale Ferranto today from Buona Foods. Gale has been an active and frequent supporter of our ALS mission for many years now, due to her family's connection to ALS through her mother. Gale is very supportive through the Mushroom Festival, and I'm a big fan of mushrooms, always have been. It's not just because of Gale and her family. So we're going to talk a bit about that and about how you can support ALS United Mid-Atlantic here for Giving Tuesday and beyond. As always, if you're interested in supporting our mission, we encourage you to go to alsmidatlantic.org and follow us on social media at ALS Mid-Atlantic. But for now, Gale, thank you so much for speaking today.
Yeah, thank you for including me this year.
Oh, I'm thrilled. This is our first Giving Tuesday podcast. So the podcast is new this year. We really wanted to highlight you for this because of all your work. And so tell us to start. I know about your mother's connection and what brought you to the ALS cause.
Well, in 2013, my mom started showing some very odd signs, and we had her diagnosed very quickly in early 2014, and we learned about ALS, which we had never heard of. Right. So we started learning about it, and we learned first, with the chapter, and there was always so much support with the chapter in walking us through the different stages that my mom was either going through at the time or about to go through, which is a tough thing to really digest when things are so new and fluid. But so we took all the information we could from all the social workers, the nurses, and the chapter in itself. And my mom lived for a few years. And she was a fighter, like a lot of people are. And we are just so grateful for the time that the chapter was able to provide us and the tools and the resources. It was overwhelming, I think, the amount of support. So today, we always remember that. We obviously want, to live, keep it going for my mom, because she was such a huge force, both, in our business, in our lives, in our family, but also in our community. And so I feel like it's very important to me, and also my brother and my family, to keep this going for her and for ALS.
So tell us a bit about your mom and her connection to the community through things like your company and through the Mushroom Festival.
Sure. Well, my mom founded our company in the early 70s when I was young, and she started as a mushroom distributor. She grew up in a mushroom family farm with her dad growing mushrooms. So, it was a natural progression for her. That's what she knew the most of, was mushrooms. So, which was not common for women in the 70s to be, forcing dealing with a company. And she was able to create this business that we have today. And then my brothers joined in, and now we have a family farm, and we're growers shippers of mushrooms here in Chester County. And we're really proud of that. And we're keeping the legacy going. We have a fourth generation now. My brother's children are involved. So it's all in the family here.
And how important is the Mushroom Festival and mushrooms to Chester County? Because outside of Chester County, people might not realize that it is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a really big deal. 54% of the mushrooms grown in the whole United States are grown right here in Pennsylvania, in two counties. So chances are, if you're eating mushrooms on your pizza, then you're eating mushrooms from Kennett Square, or Pennsylvania in particular. We're really proud of that. We do a lot of work in the state. I participate a lot in the Pennsylvania Farm Show with mushrooms. My mom helped start that up there. That we're getting ready, I think, for our 47th year there. So we've done a lot of work, both in Kennett Square for the Pennsylvania for the Mushroom Festival, which we just had our 40th anniversary, and my mom was one of the founders. And the reason with Mushroom Festival and mushrooms was trying to bring the community and the mushroom community together, and that's the success story really behind the Mushroom Festival and those early founders of that event.
So I'm not lying. I am a big mushroom fan. It's
Yeah.
like I would be getting mushrooms on my pizza when I was a kid, and now like learning about different kinds of mushrooms. Mushroom soup. I'm not even a big soup fan, but I like mushroom in it. With Thanksgiving, we're recording this before Thanksgiving, so tell us any of your favorite mushroom dishes for the holidays.
Well, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that, cream of mushrooms go really well. I don't know if there's a lot of traditionals out there, but they would do like a green bean casserole with mushrooms. That's always a fan favorite, something maybe traditionally at the house. I don't know. There's so many great recipes. There's stuffed mushrooms for an appetizer. Maybe you don't want something so filling before such a large meal. Um, but there's so many ways that you can use mushrooms in all of your meals that you can have them in your eggs in the morning. There's just so many ways, and bonafoods.com, we have lots of great recipes. I've got some of my favorites on there. So it's just, mushroom business has really grown with the versatility of mushrooms and people eating more and more fruits and vegetables. So we're really proud of that. And I love to educate people about, the health benefits of mushrooms and best ways to use them and clean them. So I'm really taking a lot of pieces that my mom started years ago with trying to create, demand for mushrooms and people eating more and more mushrooms, which is the Kennett Square Mushroom Festival grew to where it is today because there's so many mushroom enthusiasts. They walk around with mushroom hats on and glasses and all kinds of shirts and things, and they're just super excited about mushrooms, and it's great to see. The event gives back to the community. All the proceeds go back to the community. We're a nonprofit. So, we're able to support a lot of those nonprofits that maybe have had some lean years or some lean times with donations and things like that. So, we have an all volunteer board, and we're really proud of that. And I know that the festival supports ALS, and so does our Bona Foods Ferranto family, does too.
I love stuffed mushrooms, and I'm disappointed when I go to some event and it's not one of the appetizers because it's like I need stuffed mushrooms and scallops at any sort of. So if you are, if anyone is inviting me to a wedding, stuffed mushrooms and scallops are two things that we need to have there at that. So, Buona Foods is supporting ALS United Mid-Atlantic through Giving Tuesday. Tell us about why it's so important to you to support Giving Tuesday and our ALS mission at this time.
Well, ALS is our number one that we donate to annually, both to keep my mother's legacy alive and because ALS is so important. I mean, I think I'd like to say to everyone that's watching this podcast and beyond that, if you know anyone with ALS, if you did the ice bucket challenge, if there was any piece of ALS that you now know more of, it is a wonderful opportunity to support. The people really need the help. The caregivers need help. The people that have ALS need so much support because it is such a difficult disease to deal with emotionally and physically. It just takes everything from you piece by piece. It's very difficult.
I know that just like with me and my family, we didn't know anything about ALS before my grandfather was diagnosed. This was all new to you when your mom first had her symptoms. What are things that you think people should know about ALS from your experience?
Yeah, that's a good point, Tony. We didn't really know anything about ALS. It was hard to even say the words of what ALS stands for. But what it meant to us was, every step of the way with my mom and what she was going through and what we were going through. When we made the call, or actually the call would just come to us. What do you need? How are you doing today? You know, it was amazing that they were always one step ahead of us, and I'll never forget that. And so for that, ALS is just truly, truly in my heart, for my mom and for all those living with ALS right now. And I know there's so much research going on, and we need to continue with that research. We need to continue supporting the chapter to research and to also support the caregivers because they need that support.
And you mentioned research. I know that was very important to your mom and to your family. And what does it mean to you as someone from Chester County, here in the Philadelphia suburbs, that you see that so much research is happening right here in Pennsylvania to advance progress in ALS?
We are really so fortunate to be in this area and for my mom to have gone through that. I mean, I've seen so much more awareness and research over the last 10 years. It is truly remarkable, to say the least. And being in a mushroom farm, we're always doing more research, right? We're always dealing with a lot of things. So I know it's hard to be patient and it's hard to live, through that research, but there are some really strong signs that research for ALS is working. I see that through some of the newsletters that I get and the things online and socially that folks really are living longer, and they are utilizing a lot of these new research and the technology to make their lives a little bit easier every day. So for that, I think supporting ALS is important to me and to our family and to our business to continue on.
That's a really good point, I think, about research being like mushrooms, because you will nurture the soil, you'll nurture the farm for months, even longer, because you're planning for years, right? For growing mushrooms. And so it's just like with research, you're using the science that you know is going to lead to results, but you don't see those results until the end, right? You don't see it until like you've grown the mushrooms. Just like with research, you don't see it until the end. So nurturing research is very much like nurturing mushrooms and nurturing a farm.
It absolutely is, and you said it spot on. A lot of times you don't know until you've gone through cycles and cycles if that research and what you did, affected what the result was. So all I can say about it is, continue to support it because it will continue to change, and the results are positive that are coming out of the research that's done locally in this tri-state area. So we should feel very fortunate for that.
So tell us a bit about the Mushroom Festival then, because it is such an awesome thing. We are always well represented there. Donna's been there from our organization. Gary Goldstein from Chester County, who recently received an award from us. So tell us about the Mushroom Festival.
So the Mushroom Festival, this was our 40th year, and it was put together by a group of founders like-minded people, like my mom and some other community people, to bring awareness to the mushroom community and the surrounding community of people and residents and other business leaders. And so it really mushroomed over the years, and it went from like a half a street festival to support mushrooms and show people the health benefits and how to use them and cook them, into something that tens of thousands of people attend every year. They come. We have a growing exhibit that is one of our number one exhibit. People learn about mushrooms. They can buy fresh mushrooms from our local growers who donate the mushrooms. We have mushroom soup, and I think this year we had 200 vendors on the street, and we encourage them to have, if it's food, to have something that's mushrooms, or if it's, something that you sell, to make sure mushrooms are part of your, booth in some way, some shape. And so it's a 2-day event held every year, always the weekend after Labor Day. and we get a lot of support from it locally and at the state level. So we're really proud of that, and I'm really proud to be a part of it and to continue on with my mom's legacy, who believes so much in that mushroom festival to bring awareness to mushrooms in Pennsylvania, and in particular Kennett Square, the mushroom capital of the world, we call it.
Yeah, it really is the Mushroom Kingdom in Kennett
Mhm.
Square. So the
Yes.
real Mushroom Kingdom, and I really love that we can continue to share the legacy of your mom, Roro Ferranto. And so for you as a daughter, you and your siblings, you see that she's still an important part of our work at ALS United Mid-Atlantic. And obviously, she's made such an impact still through the mushroom industry in Chester County and in Pennsylvania. What does it mean to know that your mom, 10 years on now, is still making such an impact in the lives of others?
Listen, I'm overwhelmed with emotion to try to answer that in complete words and sentences. But the living in my mom's shoes and walking in that on that path gives me a lot of comfort to know that she was such a big, large spirit for us. And I'm really proud to continue on with the legacy and show the next generation, my nephews, and our mushroom family farm here with our employees to, live in this area and to support, mushrooms and our community. I mean, we really are one big family here, which is why the Mushroom Festival is so important to us, because it's a way for us to give back, all of us to give back as a community together to everyone. And this year we supported 47 nonprofits at the Mushroom Festival. So it's pretty amazing what one little small town,
Mm-hmm.
can do to bring change. And so, that to me will continue on. It's about small changes.
Yeah, it's really added up. And I think if people are not from here, they are shocked at the impact that Kennett Square can make, that Chester County can make towards, like, again, not just ALS, but for the greater community. And it's such a huge positive impact that Roro and your whole family have made. And we're so grateful to it.
No, definitely, Tony, and we're grateful too. I mean, I'm proud to be associated with ALS. I think it's important to us as a family to continue on with that, and I know how important it is to the people that are dealing with ALS every day, from the caregivers to the people the nurses, the aides, everybody that is part of this world is very challenged every day by ALS.
So I know that Bona Foods has matched donations for ALS United Mid Atlantic. So people's gifts can be doubled. It means that if you're giving $50, that's like $100. And so we're talking about Giving Tuesday, and it's also the end of year giving. It's when a lot of people want to give to something important. Why should people mushroom their donations and grow them to a greater amount at this time of year?
Because to be thankful for what we have and to be healthy and to be able to give back is a great feeling and an opportunity. And it's also us as humankind to give back to others. And ALS is where I think it would be best served for those that can give back, if to give to ALS, that people really need it.
Wonderful. Now, I before we're finished here, because your work is so great, because the Mushroom Festival is such a fun and positive event, if people want to learn more, where should they learn more about your work at Buona Foods with the Mushroom Festival?
Sure. Bonafoods.com or mushroomfestival.org. Or if you want to learn a lot about mushroom farming, you can go on to mushroomcouncil.com and find great recipes or how we grow mushrooms, a lot more information about growing mushrooms. There's plenty of information on those three different sites. And my information's on those sites as well. So if you go on to bonafoods.com, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And, happy mushrooming.
I agree. I think that everyone should go learn about the Mushroom Festival. My son was Toad from Mario this for Halloween, so we're a big mushroom family, and we appreciate that we can be part of your family, Gail. Thank you so much for your commitment, especially for Giving Tuesday and at this time for the end of the year. It's hard to believe that we're at the end of 2025, but with you, we're very hopeful for what 2026 can bring for the ALS cause.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. I believe in it and I'm committed to ALS too. So I hope we have a good Giving Tuesday.
Thank you so much. You can continue to donate to us or volunteer or advocate by visiting us at www.alsmidatlantic.org or following us on social media at ALS Mid-Atlantic. If you're listening on Spotify, please leave us a review or and comments so we can continue with the engagement. Go on YouTube and subscribe. Leave your comments there so more people will see it. Gail, I look forward to seeing you at the future events, and thank you so much for all that Bona Foods does in memory of Roro.
Thank you very much, Tony. Enjoy the holiday.
Thank you. I hope you all enjoy your holiday season as well as we work together to end ALS.
Thank you.